instead of facing towards her head, I'm just going to face towards her hips, and then we can start to take her back from here. All right. So as soon as I come to here, I start to build. I'm just going to bump with my knee, pierce with my elbow, and then we use this to get an underhook. And then I chase that far in. Alright, so 3, 2, 1. First layer of guard retention is main seated guard, where I'm using my feet, using my hands to keep Marie at bay until I can get my attacks. Marie pushes me down to the floor. If she passes on my right side, keep my right leg higher. If Marie goes to my left side, keep my left leg higher. Alright, so, and then eventually I'm trying to work back to some type of guard or some type of attack. So really simple. If Marie pressures me and she's managed to step inside, one layer is to put the foot on the hip, and then I can get my hands on her shoulders, get my feet inside and start to attack. If Marie beats this foot frame and she steps forward, here she's pressuring me, so I'm using a reverse De La Riva to kind of keep her away. And I'll find her shoulders with my hands, either the knee goes inside to get the inside position, or the foot goes over, and then we can start working from there, right? So Marie has beat all those different layers, and this time she managed to beat my De La Riva, beat my foot frame, and now she's starting to pressure with a knee slice here. And I find her knee is starting to touch the floor. 3-part drill, so if Marie starts to pass, I'm just going to bump with my knee, pierce with my elbow, and then we use this to get an underhook. So that's the first one. Second one is Marie keeps her elbow tight, she manages to pass, so if you pass, I bump, and then we go into a reverse tight waist and then start working from an active turtle position. And then the last one is Marie is coming down heavy, I'm not able to get the underhook or the reverse tight waist, she's cross-facing me really hard. We use short frames, and then we pass off to Octopus Guard, where we can start attacking from here. So I'll do it one more time. So I'll give you 3 options. So 1, Marie beats my reverse De La Riva or my frame on the hip, her knee is touching the floor, I have to make a choice. So she's starting to get the pass, bump, pierce with your elbow, grab the hip, scissor her legs, retract her elbow, and then come up on top. Second one, there's no space here, I feel that she's starting to pass, so I just bump, put weight in her hands, and then we go into a reverse tight waist and start getting some height. And then the last one is the reverse tight waist isn't there, the underhook isn't there, she's cross-facing me really heavy, short frames. When she tries to cross-face me, pass off, retract her elbow, up in her hand, and then we can work from there. So we'll do all those techniques in a couple of minutes. So 3, 2, 1. Right, Marie's keeping her elbow tight, and I find she's pressuring the knee slice. So if you go for Marie, I'm going to use this bump to put weight in her hands, and then we can just scissor her legs and come up on top. So that's like an early stage counter. But if Marie's really pressuring, and I find that this isn't on, her knees starting to go towards the floor and she's starting to pass, if I just stay here, she gets the points for the pass, and obviously she gets the position. So I have to do my best to get to a turtle position, right? So Marie frees her knee, so if you start to go, Marie, so all I do is just go with that bump again. See the way I'm posting on the right hand side of my head, and I'm going thumb down, so on her hip. And I retract my elbow, I go from the side of my head to my forehead, and then what we start to do is just get some height from this position. Really simple one. If Marie goes really wide base, I'm going to try pressure into her. If she goes really wide base, all I'm going to do is, instead of facing towards her head, I'm just going to face towards her hips, and then we can start to take her back from here. Alright. Again, Marie's pressuring me, I can't get the underhook, so if you go for Marie, bump, reverse tight waist, I'm on the side of my head, I retract my elbow, come up with my hand, and then go up onto my forehead. My goal then is to try to get my knee behind Marie's knee here. I'm also pressuring, putting weight onto Marie's left leg, so if you try to push back, if she goes wide base, I'm not going to break her down to her hip. So all we do is basically bring her hand back, circle towards the hips, and then we can start to take the back from here. If I can't get the underhook, Marie knee slices, make sure you're hiding behind your frame. If your head is exposed, it's going to be good for her. She's just going to get chest to chest and lock their hand. So hide behind your frame. Marie decides to pass, bump, and then we go into this reverse tight waist here. So retract my elbow, go from the side of my head to my forehead here. So how you get the transition is best. If I'm trying to get Marie down to her left hip and she's pushing back into me and she's a wide base, the first thing I do is best like a hip hoist. I put my left hip on Marie's hip, take out my left hand, and then put my left knee in, and then we can start taking the back from there. So that's the detail on that. Technique we're going to work, so I'll just spin it this way here. Marie manages to get the pass, I'm still on my side, she hasn't secured the position. When she's going heavy on the crossface, I basically just pass this off, and then I come up onto my right hand here. So Marie, if you try pressure me, I want to get my head higher than Marie's head, and I want to get my hips higher than Marie's if I can. If my head and hips go low, this is going to suit Marie. So as soon as I come to here, I start to build, and I put my left knee out in front. So Marie, you try to take my back. It's very hard. Really simple transition is you try to take me down, Marie, try pressure. Especially I just stand, and then I chase that far in. And then we're in the same position again. So I come up, build to a hand post, hip hoist, and then I just put my knee behind Marie's right hip. You try to take it, Marie. Stand up with my right leg so I have more height and I have more mobility. If you chase it, Marie, look for that right hip, and then we can go into turtle and start attacking from there. So. Elbows tight. When Marie goes for the pass, if there's space between her right elbow and right hip, I might be able to get an underhook. If I miss that opportunity and Marie manages to pass and keep her elbow tight, I'll be able to go reverse tight waist. Also, what ties in with the reverse tight waist is the octopus guard. So Marie passes, I can stay on the hip, or if I want to go like say octopus guard, you try pressure Marie, I have to get my pinky in the armpit. Alright, so if you come to this position, don't go reverse tight waist, go to octopus grip. So pinky in the armpit and then wedge your elbow down. So if Marie tries to posture, this should be fairly hard. And then again, get your head over your training partner's head, hip hoist and get your hips high, and then now we can start to move from there.